When the topic of the Second World War is covered in most history classes, the main discussion focuses on the soldiers, battles, and political leaders of the time. It's understandable to some extent. Most classes don't actually have enough time to cover every single detail of the war. While those factors are obviously important, there is a topic that is often overlooked: the stories of the women who stepped up and kept the society at home going during the war efforts. It's important to shed a light on how women contributed to World War II, not just as supporters, but as active members in the workforce and the war itself. Their roles not only helped win the battles, but also reshaped the future for generations to come. Given that most men were overseas, the previous jobs that they held were now vacant. Not only that, but the war meant more supplies were needed. According to Doctor Kelly Spring in On the Home Front During World War II, written in 2017, wartime production needed women to join the workforce. This meant that they would help build planes, ships, and even weapons. Along with holding all these new jobs, they also had to adjust to the new conditions, such as rationing and organizing drives to sell war bonds in order to keep their society running while also supporting the soldiers on the battlefields. On top of all that, they also had their families to take care of. It was a lot to balance all at once. Not only were they taking up those factory jobs, but women were also active members of the military. They joined special branches like the Women's Army Corps, women accepted for volunteer emergency service, and women Air Force service pilots, just to name a few. In an article written by the National World War II Museum, they explained that women would hold jobs more directly on the front lines, as well as office jobs. Not many American women experienced combat firsthand, but women from other countries did. For example, women in the Soviet Union and Britain became snipers, tank drivers, and even pilots, playing crucial roles in the Eastern Front. Most notable of all, these jobs were ones related to the medical field. Women became nurses in the various branches of the military. Samantha L. Quigley's 2016 article, Women of World War II, features first-hand accounts from women that, similarly to the soldiers, received orders to join the war. Many did volunteer out of their own volition, but once they were a part of the efforts, they were never exactly sure where they would be sent off to or what they would be facing. They had to see all the violence and terror from the battlefields, but still remain as calm as they could be to help tend to the soldiers' injuries, which certainly wasn't easy due to all the chaos going on around them. They lived with the fear of not even coming home themselves, but despite all that, they kept going, patching up the soldiers and giving them a sense of hope. While women proved themselves to be more than capable of doing these traditionally male jobs, at the end of the war, they were let go. Men returned to those jobs, leaving women once again forced to go back to their stereotypical roles of housewives and caretakers for their families. This, of course, left women feeling unsatisfied, since they now knew what it was like to have even just a taste of freedom. No one was there to tell them to just stay at home, to simply take care of their kids and cater to their husband's needs. They weren't told to be ladylike in hopes of finding a potential partner. On the contrary, they were told to rise to the occasion and help out wherever they could. Although their contributions weren't immediately recognized, their brave efforts would lead to where we are today. In today's society, it is way more acceptable for women to be a part of the workforce and the military, of course. But there are still many inequalities that exist within those spaces, such as gender wage gaps and unfair treatment in the workplace, that be from employers or co-workers alike. There is still a long way to go until there is complete equality between males and females in all aspects of day-to-day activities. But the women of World War II certainly opened the door to better possibilities. These women should be acknowledged for all they did in the past. Women were not just supporters of World War II. They were essential to its outcome. They built, they nursed, they even fought sometimes, but above all, they led. All of this didn't just help win the war, it helped win a more equal future.